Hello everybody, this is CVGS, I'm the captain here, and welcome to another fight video that we have over at Top 6, where it's an English tournament fight that we had over the weekend as well. And this is a fight between Michu and Gramgrace. So as you can see from the names here, the players are Yitat and myself as well, but don't worry, I will not be revealing anything too early in this fight. This is just mainly your play commentary here, so call it right down the middle and just bring you guys the action as we can go on from there. But as you can see, Cap actually has the first turn right now, and there's a good insight into the story of Cap's deck here, which I'll reveal towards the end, so be sure to give us a subscribe. Stick around the video also, so that you can hear more insights from me about the deck that I played that weekend also. But anyways, let's get the commentary underway. So we can see that Yita has arrived to the Grade 1, search his deck for all setup. And all setup is the key thing also that helps the Michu deck get to, you know, all setup in its name also, to get the flower cannonballs into play also. So as you can see here, he's going to be resting the all setup. And then after that, soul charge 1, the soul charge is very important. And then putting the flower cannonball into the order zone, so straight from hand. It's a Grade 3. And you definitely want to have this set up as soon as possible. So, I hate to bring back the name, but yeah, gotta bring back the name there. So, but in any case, we'll now see Ilse behind Michu right now. So Ilse is helpful to search for a glitter unit or a set order. All right. No triggers across both players' side. So Ilse's skill will be a pop-up because the booster attack hits. So just indicating to there, as mentioned, since the attack hits, look at the top 5 cards and then look for a glitter unit or a order card, and just put it into hand also. Add it to hand. And then if you do add it to hand, Ilse will go to the bottom of the deck. So it's kind of like a one-shot thing also. But sometimes that one-shot is just a little bit more helpful in order for you to be able to get what you need also. Plus that spot behind the Vanguard is going to be used up soon. So, and with early game, you know, like if players want to guard early, they can. They might lose out at the end, but you know, beyond that, so there's a lot to go about. So, but the turn passes over right now, and Cap is going to go into his right phase. All right, so he is using Vanguard Brave, ready up into Maron, and now ready up into Blaster Duck. Blaster Duck, Maron skill going off, and he's going straight for the shuffle. There's no need to look at the top 7 and search for a Blaster because there ain't no way they're gonna be a Blaster in their deck. So especially if you know that you're fighting against Gramgrace or so. So straight up shuffle, and because the a Blaster wasn't found, so it actually calls Vanguard Brave out. And then Blaster Duck skill is able to pop off, retire 1, and then it gets plus Twin Drive. However, there is a misplay here because Blaster Duck should have been able to retire Ilse. So it's a moment in time where that is forgotten. He'll trigger, so Cap goes to 0. And yeah, so can tell a bit of the inexperience there. So you know, even though I did play you know, like Gramgrace in their days on Twitch, you know, these things are so automatic, so that when you play it physically, you might tend to forget a few things. So it does happen. It does happen. All right, so Yita now riding up into the Grade 2 Michu right now, and look at the top 5 cards, and we are looking for a set order, if I remember correctly. Looking for a cannonball. So it does manage to find a cannonball, adds it to hand, and then shuffle the rest over. Now the flower cannonball for Michu's side, so is very important because Michu's original skill is that the cannonball skill is that Soul Blast 2, then retire one of your opponent's regards, and then this unit gets plus 5k at the end of the battle. Compared to what flower cannonball can actually change that skill into, flower cannonball actually changes the skill to Soul Blast 2, 3 units get plus 10k. So it goes to a more power centric build also, and that's why it's so important to be able to find your flower cannonballs and actually be able to get them all set up, hence the name of it also. But beyond that, let's see what Yita does as well. He's got a few choices, as you can see from hand, but he could continue to play passively. He still have Ilse there, so can still search out for more glitter units or can look for more set orders. No guard on there, front trigger across the board. There's only one unit there, but losing Fosado to the damage on Cap side. Ilse pops off again, top 5. Let's see if he's successful this time around. So counting out the 5 cards, and searching for a glitter unit or, you know, something else in there. So then he finds No and adds it to hand, and then he shuffles also. So at the moment right now, the damage is at 1-1 right now. So he'll trigger the pop-up early on Capsite as well. So, you know, we are gonna be in here for some time or so. But then again, the Gragrace haven't really taken the field or so, and that's where we know things are gonna go off or so. For those of you that aren't aware about Gramgrace, so Gramgrace's ability is going to have a unit be called to the back row center, and that unit can actually attack. But we'll go through the full skill as we now ride into Gramgrace. So Capsai, he's been discarding his Nucleic Angels, maybe not needing that counter charge, so to speak. So making use of Gragrace's ability, color +1, soul +1, draw 1, and choose a unit and call it the back row center regard circle, and it gets plus 10k too as well. He can attack for a back row as well. So the one thing about Gragrace is that the draws are super big on this also. And of course also, he does need a lot of resources. That color +1, soul +1 is resource heavy. Forsado is definitely a good shout also. It having a little bit more power and just being able to try and guarantee a hit also, especially this early in this game. Sending Rufflook into the soul, so it not only adds to the soul, but it also gives plus 10k to a grade 3 rear guard. So kind of nice and kind of neat to see that Rufflook can actually perform something like that. So Forsado will be what you call it? So Forsado will be hitting for 33. So avoids 15k cards also. Avoid that 1 card guard also. Alright, then Gragrace's ability will pop off at the end of the battle that the back row center unit attack, then move it into the soul and then draw 1. Alright, and then we get to see the counter charge 1, soul charge 1 since the attack did hit. No trigger on Yitat's side, but now we get to see Gragrace attacking. Okay, front trigger on Cap side, plus 10k to the Rufflook. Over trigger on Cap side too as well. Draw 1, 100 million to that Rufflook. And of course, also the additional effect goes off as well. So let's check the damage check. Heal trigger. So 2-1, Yitat will be able to heal 1 damage and get plus 10k. But you know, the 100 million is still coming in also. And there is also that drive check too as well. So 100 million has a hell no guard from there. But of course, as you guys may have noticed, there should have been a drive check. But Cap did forget to drive check for Rufflook's skill, and Shuri popped off a Painkiller Angel, so there's no way for him to kind of like rewind. He does, I do realize it at the a little bit after this, which is about this point right now. But because of the Painkiller Angel's ability popping off, so it's considered to be a miss. So judgment call here is that you missed the ability, so you know, can't help us. Can't be helped. But now it is Yitat's turn, going straight into Michu right now. So yeah, this is where the cannonballs will start coming into play. So, and of course, all that soul charging that came from all setup so will also come into play here too as well. We know that Yitat actually has a No, which is the glitter unit for the Vanguard, similar to Obscure Dread to Eva or Rimi Rarami to Tamayura. No is the glitter support unit to Michu. And yeah, we will get to see her in action pretty soon also. And we'll explain more of her abilities and what she does later on also. But right now we'll see Yita now calling Vilni. So Vilni's ability when she attacks, if you have all set up, you get plus 5k. And then you can actually send a set order from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck, and then it gets another plus 5k. So with the flower cannonball actually moving itself out to the drop zone when it's being used, yeah, so there will be additional fuel also for Vilni to really power up to plus 10k. So from 13 to 23, 5 to 15 or so, depending on whatever triggers that you get or whatever boosts you have. So that may turn a 2-card guard into a 3-card guard also. So yeah. No skills because she was discarded during the right phase. No skill is that when a set order is put into your order zone, then she can actually call herself to a regard circle. But we can see another Vilni being called down as well. So yeah, that means that the flower cannonballs have a chance to be recycled. Now Yitat deciding what more can he call down also. Could he call more boosters behind? But the one thing that he definitely wants to do is change up that Cannonball ability right now. It is an X skill across the board, minus the original Cannonball ability for Michu. But changing it to the other Cannonball ability, which is 3 units get plus 10k, the Soul Saver effect as I call it. So yeah, that is an X skill and does need to Soul Blast 2 in order to give Nokno the ability, especially if he intends to use Nokno's ability to actually swap places with the Vanguard. So that's in short, so that's the ability of Nokno right there. So alrighty, so making use of the V formation right there to add plus 10k to there, thanks to the Soul Blast 2 from Michu. The Soul Saver ability really adding to the field right here. So. Gotta make sure that everything is in place. So yeah, also double checking skills too as well. So gotta make sure that we get everything popped off correctly. Good opportunity for me to also slow down as well, because sometimes I do realize that I could talk very, very fast, but if I do need to catch up with the action, so you can bet that that's gonna be a thing for me. So alright, so here we go. Now we go into the battle phase right now. So the Vanguard will be attacking first. Michu coming in with the boost from Nokno. So that is like 21-31 coming into the Vanguard right there. Alright. Critical trigger on Yitat's side. So critical will be going to the Vanguard. And the power, where will it go? It'll definitely be going to one of the villainies for sure. So he could add it to Nokno too as well, give him more power, but he's got enough power that he could hit also. But if Cap does get triggers on his side, then that's not gonna do much also. Oh no, that one adds to hand. That one adds to hand. Doesn't go to the damage, but plus 10k to both sides from 2 triggers as well, 2 damage. Heal trigger on Cap's side, so he can't heal because it's 2 to 1 at a time. He gets a second heal trigger though, so he stays at 2, and then, well, Gramgrace goes to 33k right now. So both villains will be able to attack us, so, but Nokno will definitely have a bit of trouble. But Nokno's ability is going to be popping off, which is a counter blast 1, discard 1 card, swap positions with the Vanguard, and extend this unit basically. So which means that it's basically a double Vanguard attack, and you discard 1, so you don't really gain additional cards from the drive check, but you will be able to attack a second time, third time, fourth time, depending on the when you actually use the skill off, or when you pop the attack. And yeah, Nokno will bring whatever power that it has originally with it too as well. So the 10k from the Cannonball ability, sticking with Nokno, so she's actually a 18k. So 80k against 33, it won't be enough to overcome it. So Yita will have to check an over trigger here in order to be able to overcome that attack. So, no guard on Cap's side, of course. Drive check is another Nokno. And now the villainies all are going to be attacking right now. So, alright, so this villainy, his right side villainy is going to be attacking first. So, all setup is there, so he gets additional plus 5k. He can send the cannonball that the flower cannonball that he had used at before his battle phase. There we go, and send it to the bottom of the deck, which he does. And yeah, it gets another plus 5k. So this is actually 43 against 33. So 50k guard. So from a simple grade 1, grade 2, now a grade 0 trigger has to be dropped in on the guard. 15k guard. Alright. So, there's the other villainy that's attacking too as well. That villainy can still get plus 5k too as well. So, that is actually 33. It can go up to 38. It's a 10k guard on Cap side because of the plus 5k thanks to all setup being there. Alright, and that villainy is now starting its attack right here. Cap may choose to guard this off. He chooses not to, but he gets a draw trigger for the extra damage also. So really helpful on there. So, and does help his hand stack up quite high. So the turn passes over right now, and it is now Cap's turn. And of course, Nocno and Michu will swap back at the end of the turn also. Alright, so Cap right now. Popping the Gratias right now to activate Persona Right. Now Gragrace's ability is that when you have Persona Right, if you perform Persona Right, all your units in the back row also gains plus 10k too as well. So the Persona Right goes across the entire field, as you know why, because that back row center can attack on its own, and actually having the sides also benefit from there, so any 8k boosters at the back will be able to increase the attack from there. So a Gragrace deck could possibly go like 30 to 43 on Persona Right too as well, 43 around there, so it's a lot of big power, and with the ability of Gragrace's ability, Carbon also +1, calling down the card, the back row plus 10k and then it attacks too as well. Yeah. That's just a whole lot of power from there. So, and Sadie's ability, the card that was just called down, when it's called by a card ability, it can count on +1, draw a card, and then it gets plus 5k, then including Gragrace's power add 2 as well, and the Persona Right, we're looking at a 35k Vanguard in the back. So, yeah. Okay, so committing to the Sadie right there, I am hearing the audio of the fight right now just to make sure that I don't miss anything. Nuclear Angel being moved over to the front row so that there's a 3 attacks from there. We have noted that Cap does play fronts in his deck, so if he catches just a front, that's just more power across the board, especially with no boosters on the side. That could be handy. So critical trigger on Cap's side when he attacks with Gragrace, so critical to the Vanguard, and power he'll be giving over to Nucleate. Second check, another Sadie. So he definitely got a good target to call out if he has more color bars to use. But Yitat does get a critical trigger, so plus 10k to his Vanguard right there, defensive trigger. So Sadie will be attacking for 35 against 23, which means this is an easy 15k guard for Yitat to do. But he is sitting at 4 damage right now. He could take it, but no, he does want to avoid as much damage as possible. So Gragrace's skill, he does put the back row center attacker into the soul, and he gets to draw 1. Rafluk now coming in for 23. Yeah, I mentioned like say Nucleate was back there, so that'll be like 41 coming in. So that really shows the power of Gragrace also. Alright, no guarding with Rafluk, and Vilni goes into the damage zone. Nucleate now attacking. This is now a must guard because Yitat is at 5. 28k against 23, so it's simple 10k will do. And there we go. Right, the turn passes over back to Yitat, and Yitat will stand and draw. Persona Right coming into play right now, so plus 10k to the entire front row and plus the 1 draw as well. No need to stand. Don't worry, he will stand. No worries on that. So, but yeah, Yitat now deciding what cards to call down to as well. He's got a fair few choices here. You can see he's got quite a bit of defense in his hand too as well. So since the camera did pick it up, so but popping off all set up one more time. Moving a card into the soul, soul charging 1, sorry, my mistake. Soul charging 1, and then if he does have the flower cannonball, he can actually put that flower cannonball into the order zone, which will allow Michu to have enough orders to kind of set him up, all puns intended, for the next few turns or so. So making use of Michu's other ability, which is actually counter plus 1, gets to draw 1 card from hand. Alright, and then he gets choose a card from his hand to call it or discard it, and he'll call down the Nocno, so that Vilni will have a boost. The other side looking pretty empty right there. Earlier I will have to point out also that he didn't have a cannonball to actually put down also. So his cannonballs running out of animation there, but you know there's still plenty for the next turn still. But that flower cannonball will change Michu's ability, cannonball ability, into the Soul Saver effect. So Soul Blast 2, then plus 10k to 3 different units or so. So we're looking at both Vilnis getting plus 10k. Ooh, that Persona Right also they get quite big as well. And Nocno once again getting that plus 10k as well. So they don't know back row center versus Gramgrace's back row center. So this is an interesting matchup. So two decks kind of playing with revolving around the same idea, with a back row unit being able to attack by some mechanic, and just being able to get a bit more for the player, so to increase his hand size, to get more attacks in and whatnot. So it really comes down to, I guess, trigger checks in this sense. So because these two decks could be considered to be evenly matched in that respect, and they're from like separate nations, so which is quite nice to see. So for the 1k now, coming straight into the Vanguard right now, Michu is going to be hitting that hard against a 13k Gragrace, no guard. So heal trigger, oof, he start getting in quite a lot of heals in this game or so. But he does get to heal 1, gets a bit of breathing space, he's now at 4 damage. So power goes to the Vilni. We're waiting for his second check. And it's an over trigger. So over trigger, remove from game, draw 1 plus 100 billion to a unit. He's going to be choosing to giving it to Vilni. Alrighty, that Vilni on the other side too as well. So that is big power on that side as well. And also, not to forget, the additional effect can pop up as well, which is all of the rear guards get plus 10k during the turn. Oof. So there's going to be a lot of power going off here. So just from the Vilnis alone. So, and we haven't even considered the fact that No can actually come forward and come with it with the power that it has. So yeah, that's what I'm used to doing right now, which is actually using a counter standing upright, to negate that the over trigger is there. But damage check, no trigger on cap side. So yeah, so now No coming in, counter blast 1 and discard 1 card from hand. It will swap positions with the Vanguard Michu over there. Now I don't know if this is a misplay or not, and I haven't had time to be able to go and check whether this is in the rulings or not. So, but currently right now the over trigger skill is that all of your rear guards get plus 10k. We're not too certain at the time, and we also didn't check at the time as well whether if No will keep the plus 10k from the over trigger when it swaps position. So possibly this could be this could actually instead be 28 instead of 38. I will double check that at some point, but at this time of recording the commentary, I'm not sure of it yet. But either way, Cap will decide to guard for the bigger number here anyway, so it brings him up to 53. It will guard off, I guess, no strive check, no trigger there. So regardless, Cap decides to keep himself safe, regardless of whether the additional power is there or not. So all is fine. So now this Vilni with the over trigger will be attacking right now with the boost. So it's 100 million and no power. No need to do the power increase because it's already 100 million. So there's no need to count that since you have the PG here. So it's either take or you PG. So Cap will no guard, he gets a draw trigger, plus 10k to the Vanguard, it gets to draw 1. Alrighty, and now the other Vilni will be attacking, and of course, Yitap will want to make use of its ability to get plus 5k to itself because all setup is being there. Oops, a little kick of the camera, but don't worry, the picture is alright. And yeah, sending another flower cannonball to the bottom of the deck in order to gain plus another 5k. So despite the fact that Cap got a defensive trigger, so that's still a big number to that's coming straight after him. So counting out the numbers right now, this is basically 21. Back row has 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, 81k coming straight to Gragrace. So Cap can't take this, so he's at 5 damage right now. But he does have no problems guarding this off, making use of the Elementaria Sanctitude, the Blitz Order PG. Alright, so the turn passes over and now it's Cap's turn. Cap does have a big hill to climb right now. So over trigger being in play means that despite the fact that Cap has a huge hand size, as you can see from there, he might not be able to last too long. And not being able to persona right means that there's a lack of power, which means that he cannot hit very, very hard. So from the looks of it, he's not able to he's not able to get that persona right out also. But he does puts Rafluk down. and calls Painkiller Angel there. Making use of Gragrace's ability one more time. Call +1, Soul +1, draw 1, and then call a card in the back row center. Calls another Fossado, it gets +10k too as well. Making use of one of Rough Look skill to give power to the Fossado and calls another Rough Look down too as well. So that's a 33k Fossado right there. So Gramgrace will be attacking first. It is the weaker of the whole lot currently right now. So 13k coming after Michu right now. Yitat will be able to guard this easily. He is at 4 damage. So let's see whether if he decides to guard or not. So no guard on Yitat's side. First check of Fossado. Second check, critical trigger. So critical to the Vanguard, power to one of the Rough Looks there. Damage check, second check, no heal trigger. Unfortunate for Yitat. He does lose this game, so it's a little anticlimactic towards the end, but you know, both players are actually now catching their breath, so as I get here right now, because you know, it's it's one of those games also where both players were kind of struggling in a way. But you're already seeing the deck list right now for Yitat's Michu deck right now. So Michu's deck, making use of the usual suspects that you can see over there. Vilni, there's a couple of guys that also allows you to actually fetch the Flower Cannonball back from the drop zone into the auto zone is basically, and of course all the nodes there just to be able to get the swap in from there. And as we go over to the Gragrace deck, so the one thing that I want to let you guys know is that this deck was actually a fast build deck. So what that means is that I came down to the tournament to record. End up being that I was playing in the tournament as well, so I had to put together the Gragrace deck very quickly. And this is the build that I have and whatever cards that I had on hand from there. And so yeah, you can see, so with Rough Look being there, actually kind of interesting, making use of Rough Look's ability to move into sword and then give the Fossado +3k. That could also be helpful for Firmbal if it ever comes out to as well. A good idea in that sense. And of course, so we're seeing Sadie over there, which has the ability of counter +1. Not my choice from there, because originally I would have Arthur in there. I would have Maple, I would have Bedivere and K, which is stuff that I play in Dear Days. But for this deck, being a fast-paced deck, there's actually quite a lot of synergy going off over here. So, and it does make me want to explore a little bit more about what I can do with a Gragrace deck, so without the usual suspects being there. So, but in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and I hope you guys enjoyed the two builds that we see over here. Do be sure to subscribe to us here on CVGS and ring the bell so you get notified of all videos when they get released. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll see you next time.